So let's first talk about a regular bulk because that's where pretty much everything started. So a regular bulk is essentially what bodybuilders made popular, right? So when you're not in competition season and you are, we'll call it in the off season, then your focus is purely about trying to gain as much muscle as you possibly can by all means necessary. And so you'll see a lot of people that are going through a regular bulk, they will eat a ton of food. They eat really, I mean, sometimes they're eating burgers, they're eating fries, they're eating pizza because all they care about is eating in a caloric surplus, okay? Eating a lot of calories, okay? So in the past, you saw a lot of people doing these, what they called regular bulks, where they would, in the off season, they would get really, really fat, right? Or during the winter months, they would get really, really fat. Now, they would gain muscle, but they'd also gain a ton of fat. Okay. And so that was made really popular by bodybuilders. And then, the everyday person started to adopt it and they started to do it. So during the summer months, they would get lean. And then during the winter months, they would go through bulking season. Right. And again, a regular bulk in the terms of it is just, you can just eat whatever you want, as much as you want, as long as you are gaining muscle. If you gain extra fat, which is usually what happens when you follow that type of thing, it's all okay because it's all in the name of trying to gain muscle. Okay. So that is a regular bulk. Okay. Now, a lean bulk is a little bit different of a definition. Okay. This is essentially where you are trying to add a lot of muscle. Okay. But you also are trying to stay lean. So one of the problems that people had when they went through a regular bulk is they would go through this huge, this huge process of gaining muscle, but also gaining fat. And then what would happen is when they would start to get lean for a show, because they tried to get lean so fast, they would end up eating away at the muscle that they worked so hard to build in the off season. Okay. Or the fat loss process was very, very, very long because they gained so much fat in the off season. So when they were trying to get lean, they actually had to spend 9 months to a year trying to lose all that fat in a healthy way. Okay. And so the problems were is people were either losing muscle, or B, they were taking too long to really lose the fat that they gained during the off season. Okay. So this new thing, this new theory, or this new way of doing stuff came out called a lean bulk. Okay. And a lean bulk, again, is when you are trying to stay about the same body fat. Okay. But you're trying to get your muscle mass to go up all the time. Okay. And so the idea behind this is, hey, look, I want to stay lean and I want to gain muscle. So I want to have the best of both worlds. I want to stay lean and I want to gain muscle. Okay. Now, don't get this confused with recomp. Okay. Now that might be a session for a whole nother day, but recomp is basically, let's say that you are 130 pounds or whatever. Let's say you're a female, you're 130 pounds. Okay. You don't necessarily want to lose weight, but you want to change your body composition. Okay. So it just means that you want to lower your body fat and you want to increase muscle. So you want to lose 10 pounds of fat and then you want to increase 10 pounds of muscle. So you can change your body fat and lower your body fat, but you also want to increase your muscle. Okay. That's a recomp. Okay. If you're 180 pounds and you're a man and you're trying to, lose 20 pounds of fat and gain 20 pounds of muscle and stay relatively about 180 pounds, that's called recomp. Okay. This is not the same thing as recomp. Okay. Recomp is your goal is to lose body fat. Your primary goal is to lose body fat. Like you need to get it down. Whereas a lean bulk, you're just trying to stay about the same level of body fat, but you're trying to get that muscle mass to go up. Okay. So if you're not comfortable with where your body fat is right now, then you probably don't need to be going through a lean bulk. You probably either need to get down to a body fat where you're comfortable at, or just accept that, hey, I'm going to focus on building muscle, but keeping my same fat that I have right now. Okay. But that's not technically a lean bulk. Okay. So I hope that didn't confuse you a little bit, but I want to make sure that you're not confused, that you know the difference between a lean bulk and a recomp. Okay. Again, lean bulk is you're comfortable with where your body fat is, and all you're trying to do is focus on maintaining that and trying to increase your muscle, where a recomp is you're essentially trying to do both. Okay. You're not comfortable with where your body fat is. You want your body fat to go down and you want to increase muscle again, or as well. And you want to stay about the same weight. Okay. So don't get that confused. Okay. It's super important that you understand that. Okay. Now, the cool thing about lean bulk is when you go through this process, you are going to, stay relatively lean in theory. Okay. You're going to stay relatively lean, and you will slowly build muscle. Okay. Now, the tough part of a lean bulk is the fact that you will slowly build muscle, and it takes a really, really long time. Okay. So the question I get all the time is, which is better for gaining muscle? Is it better to go through a regular bulk, or is it better to go through a lean bulk? Okay. And without being a smartass, the real answer is the smartass answer is, the one that you can stick to the longest. That's the one that's going to build muscle. Okay. But let's just get that. Let's say you're going to be consistent. Okay. And everything's going to work. Okay. You will actually gain muscle faster on a regular bulk, because you are 100% guaranteed to be eating a surplus of calories every single day, because you don't really care about going over your maintenance level or increasing your body fat. You are just willing to eat as much as you need to eat in order to gain muscle. So there is a guarantee that you're probably going to be in a caloric surplus every single day, which will help you build muscle way faster. Okay. Now, the downside to that is, the next question is, well, which one is actually easier psychologically? Okay. And it just depends on the kind of person that you are. Okay. If you're absolutely nervous, like let's just say that you went through a body transformation process and you lost a ton of fat, and you're so nervous about gaining fat again, right? You don't want to gain it back, right? Then you probably don't want to go through a regular bulk, because purposely putting on fat again is scary, right? Like you're like, there's no way. Like I worked so hard to get it off. Why am I going to put it back on? So psychologically, a lean bulk is probably better for you. Okay. However, if you have been thin your entire life, you have not been able to gain muscle, you've tried everything and nothing works and blah, 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 blah. Okay. It might be better for you psychologically to do a regular bulk. Okay. So you really got to assess of where you are, because it's not a one size fits all type of solution. Okay. I will tell you that, me personally, I've gone through both of those, right? Where I've gone through the regular bulk. In fact, the very, very, very first bodybuilding show that I ever did. Okay. I said, I'm going to go through a regular bulk, and I'm going to gain as much weight as I possibly can. Now, I didn't do it where I was eating burgers and fries, but I made it okay to eat a lot more. Okay. And I went through that. The second time that I did a show, I actually did it a lot higher and ate a lot more food. Okay. And I will tell you that, yes, did I gain muscle? Yes, I did. Were my energy levels high throughout my training? Yes. Did I have almost good days all the time because I never was struggling with being hungry? Absolutely. The problem is I didn't really like walking around at 15% body fat. I didn't like that at all. I would much rather have walked around at 12% or even 11% body fat and not been as big muscularly. Okay. So then after I did those two things and realized that I don't really like being at 15% body fat, I said, okay, let me go ahead and do, now this is way before the word lean bulk came out. I said, okay, well, let me go ahead and go through a process where I'm not gaining as much fat and trying to just maintain my fat and slowly increase my muscle, essentially what a lean bulk is. But again, that term was not out then. Okay. And I actually realized that I enjoyed that much better. Even if my muscle gains were extremely slow, I actually enjoyed that much better, because I could walk around lean. I could walk around relatively comfortable. Again, my energy levels were still high. Yeah, I wasn't gaining as much muscle at a faster rate, but I just really I cared more about the now. I cared more about just feeling good every single day and not feeling like I had to explain myself to somebody I hadn't seen in 6 months of why I've gained 30 pounds. Okay. Like it just was way more comfortable in life to do a lean bulk versus the regular bulk. So I've tried both. And personally, I like the lean bulk way better than the regular bulk. Okay. But not everybody is different. So you're really going to have to find which one works for you. Okay.